Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good whatever time of day it is and whatever part of the world you're at right now. Welcome back, and we're going to finish up part 3 of solving equations, our algebra review for solving equations. And more specifically, as we take a look at these two problems, 41 and 42, these are what we call literal equations, where there are multiple variables and they're going to ask you to solve for one of those variables. So we basically have to rewrite these formulas to solve for a different variable. So let's go ahead and jump in. Number 41 says to solve a equals 1/2 base times height for h. And if you didn't know, this is the formula for the area of a triangle, okay? But either way, just to make sure that we're clear, we're going to rewrite this to say a equals 1/2 times b times h. Now, the first thing you want to do to both sides is clear the fraction. We're going to multiply by 2, but essentially that's going to cause us to clear our fraction. So we multiply both sides by 2. These 2's cancel out, that one and that one. And now we're left with 2a equals b times h. And since we're solving for h now, we want to get the h by itself. The last thing we want to do is divide both sides by b. When we do that, we end up with 2a divided by b is equal to h. And this is the final answer. Let's take a look at number 42. 42 wants us to solve all this nice stuff for the letter b. So once again, draw a line. And we're going to have to multiply both sides by 4 because we want to clear the fraction. Times 4, and I'm just going to rewrite everything. This is c. This is a squared plus 3b. Now the 4's will cancel out on the right side, and we need to put our equal sign. And all we're going to be left with is 4c equals a squared plus 3b. Remember, we're solving for b, so we want to isolate the b term. So we have to move the a squared by subtracting it because it's positive. Now, the a squared doesn't have a like term on the left side, so we can't match him up with anybody. So you kind of put him in a column by himself. So now we have negative a squared positive 4c equals positive 3b. Now, they didn't ask us to solve for 3b, they asked us to solve for b. So our last step here is to divide everybody, or both sides, by 3. So our final answer is going to be negative a squared plus 4c divided by 3 is equal to b. Final answer. The thing here, when you're working with literal equations, you still use the same process, the same properties that you use for solving equations, you use that for solving literal equations. The only difference here is when you're rewriting a formula, things rarely are simplified. You just leave them in a very raw form, okay? And it still looks like a formula. Either way, you all have a great day. Catch you later.